Hello, xin chào mọi người ạ. Chào mừng mọi người đến với buổi hội thảo webinar của trường Schulich School of Business. Hôm nay thì tham dự với chúng ta sẽ có cô Jessica Morgan là đại diện của trường. Thì cô sẽ có những cái chia sẻ về trường cũng như là những cái yêu cầu đầu vào cho chương trình MBA. Sau khi mà kết thúc cái phần trình bày của cô thì các bạn có thể đặt câu hỏi bằng cách là gõ cái câu hỏi của mình và gửi lên cái khung chat, thì cô sẽ đọc và trả lời. Nếu các bạn nào có vấn đề gì trong cái quá trình cái bài thuyết trình của cô mà không hiểu thì có thể là cũng gõ lên đây để bên VNIS có thể hỗ trợ. Hi Jessica.
Hello.
Yeah, I just give a brief introduction about the university and now you can start the presentation to the attendees.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining today. I really appreciate you taking your Sunday evening to learn a little bit about the Schulich School of Business. Today I'm here to talk mainly about our MBA and international MBA, but I'll be talking about the whole portfolio that we have to offer as well. So let me just double check that I can get there we go, the PowerPoint moving through. So as mentioned, my name is Jessica Morgan. I'm the Assistant Director of Recruitment and Admissions at the Schulich School of Business, and my portfolio is all about helping international students come to study in the MBA programs here at Schulich. So I frequently, in regular times, I'm traveling the world and meeting with students face to face. I have been to Vietnam a few times and look forward to coming back as soon as is possible. So the Schulich School of Business has been ranked the #1 MBA in Canada by a number of different institutions. And there are a few things that really bring this ranking for us. And one is the return on your investment. So the time it takes for you after graduation to recoup that investment due to your salary uplift is the lowest in Canada for a program in the MBA field. So it's a really great opportunity to make an investment that's definitely going to pay off for your future career. Another specialization area that we have that gets us very, very top rankings is our focus on sustainability. And we'll talk a little bit about that here, because we really do focus on something called the triple bottom line. And that means you're not only thinking about the profit that your company is making, but you're also thinking about long-term value for your organization and the stakeholders that are impacted by your decisions. So not only just the shareholders, but who are the people, the organizations, and the communities that your business interacts with. And also finally, how will your decisions benefit the natural environment? So sustainability is really, really important to Schulich and what we believe in. And you'll learn all about this triple bottom line viewpoint throughout the program at Schulich. So we have quite a new facility that's been added on, and this is called the Rob and Cheryl McEwen Graduate Studies and Research Building. Again, to be in line with our philosophy, it's been built as one of the most environmentally sustainable buildings in North America. This space is specifically for our graduate students. We have a whole other building that is a shared facility between undergraduate and graduate students as well. But this new facility is strictly reserved for our graduate students, such as MBA and master's students. So we're very happy to have this extension to our space and an addition for our students to enjoy. So I'm going to touch briefly on the specialized master's programs that we offer. So these are typically 12-month programs that allow you to specialize and strengthen your technical expertise in a very unique area. So we do have courses in Masters of Accounting, Masters of Marketing, Masters of Management, Finance, Supply Chain, Real Estate and Infrastructure, Business Analytics, and Artificial Intelligence. each of these courses is typically 12 months long, and you would be doing a specialized curriculum throughout. So I'm glad to answer questions about these ones later on, but today the presentation will focus mostly on the MBA. So our MBA program is considered a 2-year program. You have 4 semesters, and it really does take either 16 or 20 months in total, but we call it a 2-year program because we're talking about academic years. So it's a really fantastic program that allows you to specialize. We have 18 different specializations. We also offer concurrent graduate diplomas and a number of joint degree options that you can pursue as well. And the program has really 3 different components. So your first year curriculum is that chance to build a solid foundation, to learn about problem solving, to build your leadership, and to learn about all those core areas of business that you may or may not know about yet. Accounting, finance, marketing, operations, strategy. These are all the things that you're going to do in your first year. And then when you get to your second year, this is where we have these 2 components. So you're going to acquire real world experience by participating in an 8-month-long project where you and a team of students work with a real client and you become their strategy consulting team. So this is a live project that happens over your whole second year. So at the same time you're working on that project, you are taking your specialization areas, your elective courses. You're potentially doing some student exchanges. We have a lot of great areas where you can tailor your MBA to really follow your interests and your career goals. So this first year that you're going to be doing, you'll see the curriculum shown on the screen here. What you're doing in the first and second semester is pretty set already, except for one elective that happens in your second term. Then you have a break term. So if you begin your course in September, the progress of the degree, term 1 would be September, term 2 would be January, and then you would have a 4-month break term over summer. So you can choose to take an internship at that time, or you could choose to continue studying if you like. It's up to you. But that first year of your program is really going to take 8 months of in-class work. So each semester is 4 months long. When you get to your second semester, on the right-hand side in this list here, you'll see all of our different specializations that we offer in the MBA program. Now, there are 2 groups here, cross-functional and functional, and we just group these for organization's sake. It doesn't mean that you have to take one from each of these areas. Students can actually choose up to 2 specializations, and you can combine any specialization that you like here. So we have everything that you would expect in your traditional MBA degree in that functional area, but then we have some really unique cross-functional or industry-focused specializations like arts and media, business and sustainability, mining management, retail management, health industry management, social sector management. These make us quite a unique offering in the MBA field. So when you come to Schulich, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to even further internationalize your program. So we have 53 graduate partner schools in 30 different countries where you could do a short-term or 1-semester exchange program with. We have global study tours, and the offerings of our partners, they could be full-time for 4 months, or you could go for 2 or 3 weeks for an intensive short-term exchange as well. And I'm going to touch briefly on another program we have, which is called the IMBA, or the International MBA. Now, that doesn't mean it's only for international students, it's for everyone, but it is a more unique program. It's a smaller intake. We do only classes of 30 each year, and there's 1 intake per year in September. So what's different about this program is that it focuses more on international business. So in your first year, your curriculum is going to look a little bit different than the regular MBA. It's going to focus more having international business core courses. It also has a language component. So everybody in the IMBA must have at least 2 languages. So if you're here listening to me in English, then you've probably already got your 2 languages. So English and Vietnamese can be your languages. Or if you have a 3rd language as well, you're welcome to use that. But everybody needs to be at an upper intermediate level of verbal fluency in their 2nd language. And there are language development courses as well to help you along. And in the international MBA, that summer work term is mandatory. And international students will do their work term in Canada, and Canadian students will go abroad and work in a new country. So everybody is getting exposure to working in a new international setting as a part of their IMBA program. The 2nd year of the IMBA is very similar to the MBA, only difference being that your strategy field project, your 8-month-long consulting group team project, that will focus on a business that wants to either break into the Canadian market or expand out of. So there's an international component there as well. So at Schulich, we have some very diverse perspectives. 70% of our students are coming from a non-business degree background. So that means we have lots of engineers, lots of humanities majors, people with law backgrounds, and some business students as well. We're very, very proud of having a culture of equality and inclusion and having an environment that is very collaborative. So students are very willing to help each other to succeed. And when you are struggling with something, you'll have a friend and a colleague who you can reach out to for support. And hopefully you'll be able to help them as well with the areas that you have strengths in. So 55% of our student body is international, and we've got 44 countries represented across that group. So it's a very diverse group. And if any of you have ever been to Canada or met any Canadians, you'll know that Canadians are also a very diverse group. So the thing is that you all will look like you're Canadian. So nobody will be able to point out and say, that person's not from here. You blend in very easily to the Canadian fabric of Toronto, which is an incredibly multicultural city. So in our alumni body, we've got over 31,000 students all around the world, and they're active in 90 different countries. So that's a group that you would be joining as your lifetime alumni association, and you would end up having a network wherever you go. So no matter if you stay in Toronto or in Canada, or you go back to Vietnam, or you end up somewhere else, you've got somebody that you can reach out to in the Schulich network. So the Career Development Center is our great resource for students to help them understand how to leverage this degree into their next career move. We're the #1 in Canada for employer diversity. Over 250 different global recruitment partners come to us to recruit our students. There are 3 areas that Career Development Center focuses on. So first is coaching. So we do have sector-based career coaches and advisors. So if you're interested in finance or you want to get into consulting, you can go to a specific coach who has experience and expertise in that area. They can also give you individualized coaching and advising. So if you have an interview coming up, they can help you by doing mock interviews. They can help you to prepare your resume in the style that the Canadian employers in this sector are looking for. We also have great tools like soft skill development workshops and an online career portal and resume banks. And you also have the chance to network. So we do have many recruitment events happening all year round, both on campus and virtually. And there's corporate networking events and alumni networking mixers that you can take part in to grow and expand your network. Because we have a lot of different specializations, the employment outcomes are very diverse in terms of sector. So you can see for us, the top sectors are financial service, technology, retail, and consulting, but there's something for everybody. And about 90% of our students are hired within 3 months of graduation from the MBA, and the average starting salary is around $93,000. Of course, that would vary depending on what industry that you're going into, maybe higher, maybe lower. If you're going into government and not-for-profit, it's obviously not as a high-paid sector as it is in technology or finance or consulting. But we have very detailed report available on our website about the various industries and what you can expect in terms of average salary by industry. So student life at Schulich is very rich. So we have a lot of clubs and a very active student government, which we call the Graduate Business Council, or GBC. So they are the student elected council for all graduate level programming, and they are our sort of connector between the administration and the students, making sure your voices are heard. The student clubs are also a very active part of our experience. We have industry-based clubs, we have just student interest clubs, and cultural clubs. So whether you're interested in joining the New Ventures Club or the Schulich Marketing Association or Women in Leadership, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you to get involved, grow your network, and also to build your leadership skills and experience. And then we also have a lot of different social events and unique academic related events like the Dean's Cup, which is a case competition that all of our graduate students are welcome to enter. We also participate in a lot of international and national level case competitions. So we're based in Toronto, Canada. It's been ranked as one of the safest metropolitan cities in North America, and is a really wonderful place to live. As I mentioned before, it's quite diverse. About half of the people that live in Toronto were actually born outside of Canada. And we have a lot of programs at Schulich and supports available to international students. So if you're admitted to a program, we'll definitely set you up with some pre-arrival webinars to help you understand what's required. We have buddy programs to connect you with a student that's already in Toronto at Schulich. If you need any support with your English language, there is peer support programs that happen to help you with your assignments and give you advice on your essays and papers. We have a new to Canada orientation that happens for all international students at the start of the year. And one of the best benefits that we have is that we have an in-house regulated immigration consultant. She offers advising on work permits, study permits, and permanent residence options to all of our international students. So what are we looking for the MBA program admissions? 3 or 4 year undergraduate degree. As I mentioned, it can be from any major. We don't only have business students in the program. We are looking for a competitive GMAT or GRE score that would be required for the MBA program. We accept both of these. We don't have a preference, so you're welcome to take the exam that you prefer. We know right now many of the test centers are closed due to coronavirus, but they are offering an at-home version of the test, which we are accepting. For the MBA program, we do require work experience. So you need to have a minimum of 2 years of work experience after you've graduated your undergrad degree by the time the program begins. On average, our students have around 5 years of work experience. For your English proficiency, we're looking for either a TOEFL or an IELTS. Scores here, TOEFL, we're looking for 100 overall with no band under 23, and IELTS, a score of 7 with no band under 6.5. And as a part of our application, we have a couple of different essays and reference requirements. So there are 2 written essays, and these are like your statement of purpose. Why do you want to do an MBA? Why do you want to do it at Schulich? And what are your career goals? When it comes to the timed written question and 2 video questions, this is to help us assess your communication skills and style. So these ones will be randomly generated questions, which are more opinion-based questions. So nothing you have to prepare a write-up for, but things like asking you, what do you think the future of business holds when it comes to artificial intelligence? Or tell us about a time when you had a conflict with a colleague and what did you do to solve that? Or what was the favorite team that you've ever worked on? These types of things are just to get you thinking and talking and writing so we can see what your skills and style are like. When it comes to your references, these will be done online, and we'll be looking for 2 professional references. So we don't need any academic references here. So they should be both from your working life. They're done online, so you just give us the name and email and details about who your references are, and we'll send them a form to fill out online. So we do have a couple of different rounds for every intake of our programs. So the MBA program has a January and a fall intake. So winter and fall is January and September for us. The IMBA, International MBA program, is open only in fall each year. And normally we recommend for international students to apply as early as possible, aiming for the second round at the latest. But we may accept late applications if there's still spaces available. So if you're curious, please reach out, and we'd be glad to have a conversation with you about what's available at the time you're looking to start. So for tuition fees, the full program is around 107,000 Canadian dollars. It's about 26,000 per term. We do have both student loans and scholarships. So for student loan programs, we work with such companies as Prodigy Finance and Empower Financing. They offer loans for international students. We also have scholarships available. So our scholarships mainly are merit-based. We would be looking at your GMAT or GRE. We would be looking at your GPA, and we'll be looking at any demonstrated leadership that you have in your profile, in your background. So all international students are automatically evaluated for scholarships. There's no extra application that you need to fill out. In addition, as an international student in Canada, you can work part-time while you study. So you can work up to 20 hours a week during your study term, and during any breaks or holidays, you can work up to full-time hours, so 40 hours a week. In addition, once you finish your program in Canada, if you've done an MBA, which is considered a 2-year program, you'd be eligible for up to 3 years of a post-graduation working permit to stay in Canada and continue to build on the network and career opportunities that you found throughout the program. So what's next? If you want to know more, if you want to set up a time to talk one-to-one, I'm very happy to do that. There's a couple of links on the page here. So the most important is the future events. So if you go to schulich.yorku.ca/events, you'll find all of our event listings. We do a lot of online sessions, including program overviews, just like this one. We do FAQs and application tips. So someone will walk through each stage of the application with you and really go over each part and tell you what we're looking for. We also do some sample lectures and some student panels as well, so you can hear directly from our students. If you'd like to get a review of your profile and your resume, I'm very happy to do that with you. You can register at the pre-admissions assessment link there, which is schulich.yorku.ca/grad-inquiry. Or you can just email us at admissions@schulich.yorku.ca. So very happy to connect with anybody in terms of questions about the program, questions about your profile. This should really be our first step of a conversation, and I hope to be following up with further conversations with you all later on. I see that there have been some questions coming in, so right now we can start to talk about your questions. If you want to put your questions in the Q&A section, I'll be happy to go through those, and I'll be asking you guys some questions as well. So the first question I see is, what's the requirement for GMAT and GPA if I want to get a scholarship? So this is the question everybody is interested in. So, you always want to try your best to, get as good a score as you can on your GMAT or your GRE to help improve the competitiveness of your profile for not only admission, but scholarships as well. Because there is nothing you can do about your GPA now, that's set, right? So where you can make a difference is in your GMAT. So I would say you want to aim for above average. Usually for scholarships, we look in the GPA for a B+ on our scale. And if you're not sure what that is, I welcome you to send us your transcripts and we can do that evaluation for you and let you know where you stand even before you apply. But on average for us, the GMAT score we have is about a 660. So the minimum requirement for the GMAT is a 550. That's the lowest we accept. The average is 660. So if you want to do your best to put yourself in a good position for scholarships, I would say, work hard to improve your GMAT score as much as possible, or your GRE. And also, when you're putting together your resume, what we want to see is other activities other than work as well. If you've had some leadership, if you've had some volunteering, we want to know about that as a part of the application. So somebody asked, are we accepting the GMAT online? Yes. So right now we know a lot of the test centers around the world are closed. So we are accepting the GMAT and GRE at-home versions of tests. We are also accepting the TOEFL at-home test. Somebody's asking, can the references be all employers or combined with university professors and third parties? So we would recommend that you are choosing your references from your working life. So for the MBA, we're not looking for any professors. If you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you don't have a boss, or you don't want your boss to know that you're considering leaving, then you can definitely ask a client or a colleague that you've worked with for some amount of time who knows enough about your skills and experience that they'll be able to give us some good insights on you. There's a question about the essays and videos. Do we have a set of essays for admissions that students can research and prepare for? Yes, we do. So on our website, there is a application tips section. So it includes some overview information about the video essays and timed written essays. And actually, when you're ready to get started on those essays, what's going to happen is in the application, you'll see a link that says start your video essays now. You do not have to be afraid to press a button. It doesn't start automatically. It will open another website, and it actually gives you practice questions to practice the video essays a couple of times to get comfortable with the delivery method. So don't be scared to get those things started. There are practice questions. So there's a question about, due to COVID-19, can we study one term online and go to Schulich later? It may be possible. So yes, right now, all around the world, many universities are looking at how can they deliver their courses in the lens of, public health and safety during COVID-19. What we're planning for this fall is that most likely, we're still a few months away, but our plan right now is that we are going to start the fall term online. And as soon as we're able to, we'll bring it back to small, socially distanced, safe in-person classes. That means you may be able to start your whole first semester online and come to us in January. But you would still need to get your study permit. So please, if you are thinking about this fall, put your application together and reach out as soon as possible so we can talk about that. There's a question about postgraduate work permit. How it typically works in Canada is if you study a 2-year program, such as our MBA or International MBA, you're likely going to be getting a 3-year working permit. So it is always up to the visa officer to determine the length, but in our experience, normally students are getting a 3-year post-graduation working permit. So the opportunities for you are going to be able to continue to capitalize on your connections, your networking, and follow whatever opportunities come up. So that work permit is yours. It's not tied to a company. So if you need to change jobs or a new opportunity comes up, you're welcome to do that. Okay, and somebody's asking how many Vietnamese students do we have at the moment? Typically for the MBA program, we get anywhere from 1 to 4 Vietnamese students per year. So we have a couple in the program right now, but we also, as I mentioned, have a number of other master's programs that also have students from all around the world in it. So it's a small amount, but they're very, very successful, and we're very happy to have them, and we'd love to have more students from Vietnam joining. So somebody's asking about the GRE scores and what would be sufficient. We look at whatever is equivalent to the GMAT score. So it would depend on your quant and your verbal scores. What you can do is go on Google and type in GRE to GMAT conversion, and there's a handy tool that will give you an equivalency if you enter your verbal and your quant scores on the GRE. So the minimum that we're looking for is equivalent to 550, an average of 660. So as I said, GRE and GMAT, either one is fine for us, but we just give the scores in the GMAT sort of frame. So there's a question about staying on campus. Are there on-campus dorms like other colleges? Yes, absolutely. So we have a number of different on-campus housing opportunities. They're not dormitories, they would be apartment style. So as a graduate student, you're a more mature student, so we're not gonna put you in the shared rooms with first-year university students. You would be able to apply for your own apartment on campus. But also we are right on the subway line. So no matter where you live in Toronto, it's very easy to get to school. You just hop on the subway and it lets you off about 1 minute from the front door of Schulich. So very easy to get around. So there's a question about average salary in Toronto. It definitely depends on your industry. So as I mentioned, the general outcome on average for our graduating students from the 2019 batch was an average salary of $93,000 Canadian per year. So it would depend. Some could be higher, some could be lower. Depends on the industry and the positions that you're looking for. We do have a more detailed overview of that career report available on the website. And if you send an email to us at admissions@schulich.york.ca, I'd be happy to share that with you as well. Thank you all for these questions. It's really great. So there's a question about needing work experience. So yes, you do need at least 2 years of post-graduation working experience. So finish your bachelor's degree, then work for 2 years, then you can start the program. So you could apply to the program before you have that 2 years of experience, as long as by the program start date, you would meet that 2 years of full-time working experience. And somebody's asking about studying hospitality. Can I apply for MBA? Absolutely. We take students from all backgrounds. So when you're ready to sort of put together your resume for your MBA application, we do have some templates and sort of tips and information on our FAQ page on the website. And that will give you an idea about what's the format we're looking for. We accept up to 2 pages for your resume, even though when you download our template, it's only 1, but that's just the sample. You can extend into two pages. So we're very happy to give you some feedback on your resume as well before you apply. So we can let you know if we think anything is missing or if you've included some things that aren't necessary that you could remove to give you more space to focus on the things that are really important to us in the process. Thank you so much for all these questions. If there's any more, please keep them coming. I'm very happy to continue to answer.
Yeah, I think there are no more questions at the moment. If anyone needs assistance, VNIS team is always here to help. And we will follow up with all participants after the event. And thank you so much, Jessica, for your presentation today.
My pleasure. As I said, very happy to continue the conversation with any of you later on a one-to-one basis. You can get in touch with us. You know, we're very happy to have a Skype call or a Zoom chat or anything that, you know, will help you understand the application process and our programs better.
I think there is one more question.
Yeah, I do see a question there. So it says, how long does it normally take to know the result? For us, we're quite fast in turning around application decisions for the MBA program. So I would say definitely less than 4 weeks from when the deadline is that you apply. So each term, as I mentioned, has their certain deadline rounds. So if you apply by round 1, for instance, let's think about winter 2021, and you apply by round 1, which is June 5th. You're going to have your decision before round 2, so before July 29th, and maybe even sooner. So it just depends on our team, how fast we're moving, how many applications there are, but we do try and move quite quickly so that students can get their answers, because we know it's you know, full of a lot of anxiety in the application process. So we want to get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you for that question.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, if no one had additional questions, I think we are good and we can end the webinar today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, everybody. And thank you to VNIS. Appreciate having this platform to reach out to your students and your contacts, and really hope you have a great evening. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we will follow up with the attendees and get back to you if we have any inquiry to have a one-on-one meeting with you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. Take
Goodbye,
care, everybody.
everyone.